Welcome to the Bucher and Friends podcast, co-starring 10-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion, Will Blackman.
Manning from the end zone. He throws, and a deflect away, and it is picked off by Will Blackman, the former Giant.
Tim Dwight watches it hit, bounces, picks it up at the 10, slips a defender, fumbles the football, it's up for grabs, it's covered in the end zone by Will Blackman for a Green Bay touchdown!
And now, here is your host,
Let's send it over to Ric Bucher.
Ric Bucher.
Welcome to another episode of Bucher and who? Bucher and Blackman. Yes, he's back.
Your voice matches your hair.
Yeah, I'm on fire. I'm Ric Bucher, by the way. You can see me on FS1. You can read me on Bleacher Report, and you can also hear me along, not only here, but on radio.com at Scallon Pals and on Entercom terrestrial radio stations, every and anyone near you. He is Will Blackman. He has returned from his duty with Sky Sports. You can hear him on Fox Radio, and you can follow him on Twitter at Will Blackman. You can follow me on Twitter at Ric Bucher, and on Instagram at Ric_Bucher. And where else can they follow you? You're trying to get your gram going, and it hasn't really been going. But
my gram is going. What you mean hasn't been going?
Oh, your gram's going? Your gram's going?
My gram has been going. Your gram is not going.
No, my gram is not going. My gram kind of took off there for a hot minute, and then it's kind of plateaued. And part of it, a big reason, well, I'm going to blame it on the fact that I just don't do enough with it. I haven't found my lane on the gram.
You ever find your lane?
Haven't found my lane on the gram.
You just document and story everything. Like right now, I'm about to see that I'm storing myself right now, and
yes.
then
Don't do me. Don't. No.
Yeah,
No.
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 Oh yeah.
No. I'm going to turn the lights off.
Fine.
Because I'm a sweaty Betty right now. Not because I'm excited that you're back, but because I just finished working out. So, I'm going to turn the light on there. All right. So, first of all, back from London. Been back a week.
Yes.
Inducted into the Rhode Island High School Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Yeah. So I came back last Saturday, and then flew back out to the East Coast on Sunday with my whole family.
Got it.
So that was cool.
And so when did they first let you know that this was going to happen for you?
They actually told me in the summer. They told me in the summer just to make sure that I would be there, and then they were preparing this whole time. So I knew about this for a while.
Who else was inducted?
Brian Boucher, the hockey player.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just two of you?
No, it was 14 of us.
14?
Yeah.
Wow. Give me the names. Who else?
John Galuli. He's like our main writer in Providence, our main sports writer.
What? Wait. What? They inducted a writer?
Don't they in the NFL Hall of Fame?
Yeah, they do. Actually, they do. NFL. NBA does too.
That's what I'm saying.
NBA. I'm still waiting. All right. So what are you going to miss the most from your time in London? And what did you crave the most that you already indulged in coming back?
I'm not going to really miss anything about London, to be honest. No, I don't mean like a diss. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time. There was nothing like I don't really miss anything. I had fun. I did a lot. I got a lot done. I met a lot of cool people. I enjoyed covering American football there, and honestly, I couldn't wait to get back. Just home with my family and just be in my house. I'm a homebody, so I just couldn't wait. I craved my home. That's what I craved.
So what is it? Like, what was the first thing? The chair, the couch, what did you do when you got home that was like, I missed being able to just chill right here?
Walking up my driveway. That's all.
Really?
Yeah, just being back in the neighborhood. That's all. I enjoy that. That's what I missed the most.
And what did you? Okay, so there's nothing that you're gonna miss.
You know what? We sat down tonight for the first time in a long time and had dinner, all four of us.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
The times that my family sits down is for, even when we're all in town, when we all sit down at dinner, is an occasion as well. Does not happen regularly.
It wasn't always like that. And then I think maybe a few years ago, we kind of made it a point to like, okay, let's sit down and let's talk and let's have dinner. So we've been doing that for a while now. We
try to do that. And actually, when the power went out, that was a blessing for our family because we spent more time together than we ever have. So I'm good. I bought a generator, but I bought a camo generator only because
it was camo.
Because it was camo. It just made me laugh. I was like, I'm going to pay the extra $150 because this thing
extra 150.
Extra 150. Yeah. Cost me about $1.5 grand. Not cheap, but when you're anticipating that for the next 5-10 years, your power may go out at the discretion of Pacific Gas and Electric, you want to have a backup plan. So now I do. All right. We are recording this right after the Ravens handed the Patriots their first loss of the season. They did it going away. And I don't want to get into Tom Brady looking old or the Patriots being exposed, but I will say, Will, considering the fact that the Ravens did everything in the first half possible to make this close when it wouldn't have been otherwise, it's hard for me to imagine how the Patriots are going to game plan for things to be different should these teams meet again later in the season.
It's hard to imagine?
Yes, it's hard to imagine.
Why?
It's hard to imagine because as great as the Patriots are in scheming things, I don't see their personnel. I don't see them having the personnel to answer what Lamar Jackson and the Ravens present. I just don't. I don't know that they have.
A lot can go on in 8 weeks.
It can, but look, injuries and whatnot.
I'm not talking injuries. I just mean in terms of what they're trying to do.
Okay, so
I think right now, first of all, New England has been, they have been playing subpar teams and been undefeated and been riding the wave, and they kind of needed something like this. And this is something you really can't prepare for unless you actually played against them.
Okay.
So I think this is their advantage. Like, okay, we're going to take this L and then see them in the playoffs.
Okay.
And hopefully things will be different.
So give me a reason to believe that things are going to be different. I mean, I get it. I get that.
Because of Belichick, he's the master of adjustments.
All right. So based on what we saw tonight, can you point to an adjustment that they can make the next time they face them that is going to eliminate the X factor that Lamar Jackson is?
I don't have an answer. This is what I feel like tonight. I felt like tonight was Lamar was going to get his regardless. Mm-hmm. I did not think it would be enough for the victory, but I figured like Lamar he's just that good that he's going to get his yards, his stats, his numbers.
So you had the Patriots winning.
I had the Patriots winning tonight. I did because I just thought I feel like the Ravens D is unpredictable. As talented as they are, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time in a long time where the Ravens offense has been the catalyst for the team and not the defense. But the defense has the personnel to be the catalyst or to be the equal. So yeah, I just feel like I've seen it before. I've seen Belichick look at something. It was like, okay, this is how it is. All right, well, let me fix it.
Yeah, I don't have the stats in front of me, but his history when you have quarterbacks that are mobile like this and the Mark Ingram and what he's able to do catching the ball out of the back. I mean, that combination of Lamar Jackson.
He had 92 yards in like the first quarter.
Yeah. So that's where it's like, okay, so you close down Lamar. Lamar's always got that little pitch out there for an option. I never saw them contain that. I never saw them come close to containing that. And
there was a point in the second quarter and somewhat in the third, where it was like, okay, they could be pulling close, and then the Edelman fumble is what changed everything. I believe
that was tough.
It just took the air right out of them, because they were down 4 points, and had a chance to go ahead and score and be up.
Everybody keeps talking about how Tom Brady is not the same and he's showing his age. And I've been one who has said last year or the year before, like, he doesn't have quite the same. The pep on his ball is not quite the same. But I will say, like tonight, I think he still throws guys open. He still reads everything so quickly and finds the guy. He just, his decision making, he's throwing it away maybe a little bit more than he did before, but I don't know. How would you estimate what you saw out of Tom Brady? Are you seeing slippage? Are you seeing distinctive slippage in what he's doing?
No, I'm not seeing that. I just feel like just as of now, the offense as a whole has not been. Once again, another situation where the defense is the catalyst. Right now, the defense was ranked number 1 in everything.
Right.
Coming into this game,
they're giving up less than 8 points, averaging less than 8 points a game.
Yeah. So they have been the catalyst. So if it got to the point where the defense gave up a lot of points, which they did tonight, then it's an issue. So they have to make the adjustment in themselves offensively to catch up. They obviously made them move, getting Mohamed Sanu, and they fed him the ball a lot today.
Yep.
Trying to get the running backs involved, and then hopefully, N'Keal Harry will come through. They have to find a way to fill that void, and that void is Gronk. The fact that he's not there,
they're getting nothing
huge.
Out of the tight end.
Yeah, it's huge. So they have to figure something out. So that's why I'm saying, like, they're going to make adjustments within themselves, and then to get ready for another opponent.
Okay. The Cleveland Browns.
By the way, I apologize because I literally just got my voice back. So if I sound like a smooth R&B DJ right now, that's because I just got my voice. I lost my voice all week.
If you sounded like a smooth R&B DJ, then you wouldn't have anything to apologize for.
But right now I have like one level. I don't have any like change of anything in my voice right now. It's just straight ahead.
Yeah, but it's Barry White, so why would you complain about that? You sound good. Yeah, I did not notice that your voice was. It's probably a little more baritone than usual, but other than that, no, I'm not noticing that you're playing hurt. But appreciate you doing that.
All good.
The Cleveland Browns lose yet again. This time to the Denver Broncos. It does at least happen on the road, but you and I have we've been pretty inconsistent in doing our pod. Or our part in the pod. And so I'm wondering, with all that's happened, we've talked about Freddie Kitchens. In fact, I think we both agreed, and I know you said that your question about would they live up to expectations had everything to do with Freddie Kitchens. And that has proved to be prescient because he hasn't been able to live up to that. I believe what you did not expect, and nor did I, was that Baker Mayfield would struggle as mightily as he has. And I just wonder, the damage being done now, even if we blame Baker's struggles on Freddie Kitchens, can he recover from this? Or do they run the risk of this doing damage to Baker Mayfield?
I don't think this would do damage to him. I still think Baker's a good quarterback, and I think he will be a very good quarterback in the NFL. But for us, it was just a matter of we don't know about Freddie Kitchens. I didn't know if I could trust what he done. I know nothing about him. Even the first game, it showed in terms of all those penalties with the discipline within the team. And what we did talk about in our earlier pods was, yes, this team is incredible on paper, but what's going to happen when the team starts handling or dealing with adversity?
Yep.
What's going to happen? the biggest thing with any team is like the culture. If the culture ain't right, it's going to show up. That's the issue. And it makes no sense. It's almost like Freddie Kitchens drives a automatic car, and then all of a sudden he got this Ferrari that's manual, and all these cool toys and tools, and it's like it doesn't know how to drive it yet. And
is he gonna? The question is he gonna get a chance to learn, or do you see a change coming? Because that's the way the Browns do this.
I see a change coming. I see it as like, okay, we don't really see any candidates we want out there, so let's go. We're gonna hire Freddie, and then who knows? Maybe next year, if it doesn't work out this year, they end up throwing a duffel bag at Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
Try to get him back, reunite. So I don't know. It's interesting. I look at it, same thing. I look at the Arizona Cardinals when let's go get Steve Wilkes. And for him to get fired, who's also at Cleveland, for him to get fired in a year, which means that they've still been searching while he's been a coach.
Right. They weren't sold.
They weren't sold. And to also have Rosen, you had to get a quarterback in the first round. And he was there. You couldn't pass him up. That would be silly.
Although they moved up to get him, if I'm not mistaken.
At the same time, there's a dude sitting there.
Yeah. You had the opportunity to move up and get him. Fair enough.
Yeah, right. And now you're at 1. And there's a dude out there at 1 that Kyler Murray that's who you really want. So that's what's going on right now. I think that's the deal is he's under evaluation because they are completely underperforming because once again they're way, way, way too talented on offense for this.
Sure. Baker Mayfield's not going anywhere, that's for sure.
Mitchell
Trubisky, another story. And I guess I am amazed at how dramatically things have changed. Opinion and viewpoint on Mitch Trubisky has changed in the span of a year. We were not talking, the jury was not out in a definitive way last year.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm not saying that people were sold that he was going to be a great quarterback, but nobody was talking about the Bears needing a different quarterback.
No, they weren't talking about they needed a different quarterback, but they were a good team.
Yes.
And they had their guy. So yes, I see what you're saying with that.
Yeah. And now it's a matter of they have to make a change at quarterback. That's just
right.
That's the going. That's the belief, and that is the narrative that's that everybody's following. What is it that what's changed so dramatically? Is it just that people figured out his limitations?
I don't even know. It's the weirdest thing because it's not like they lost a lot of players.
Yeah,
they have the same players.
Yeah, it's not like Kirk Cousins losing Jordan Reed. When he didn't have Jordan Reed, Kirk Cousins was not the same quarterback. I can't look to one guy that Trubisky lost and say, well, this is the reason.
I know last year Nagy got Tariq Cohen involved a lot, and you just don't see that. It's really confusing in terms of what's going on, and it sucks because right now because he's struggling so bad they keep bringing up the fact that they got him. They moved up to get him instead of Mahomes and Watson.
Right.
But it also too, just based on the game plan, it just seems like right now, Nagy just doesn't trust his offense.
Yeah. Well, they don't. I'm just trying to think what their running game was like last year because their running game hasn't been particularly. David Montgomery has been okay, and they did have Jordan Howard last year, which was a little bit of a difference.
Right.
So, although average per carry was a little bit different, but Jordan was able to get into the end zone. So that again, it's what I've often said, which is, I feel sometimes we the running game, having a running game or having a threat in the running game just has a massive impact on 90% of the quarterbacks out there, 95% of the quarterbacks out there. If you don't have a running game, you have to be really special to still make your offense function. No,
you do. I mean, there's very few quarterbacks that can play one way, and I mean, one of them is who was Aaron Rodgers, but he had Aaron Jones, who was being productive until today.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do need that. That's how you control the game. Is you run the football.
Speaking of the Packers, they take their first loss, and they take it against the Chargers.
Second loss.
I'm sorry, second loss.
Yeah.
Second loss.
Second loss.
Second loss. That's right. They're 7-2.
Yes.
They were 7-1. What? Didn't see this one coming.
I think the Chargers just woke up.
They do that.
This was on the list.
This is not the first time. They do this. Mid-season,
this was on the list of
alive.
one of my most confusing teams. They're confusing. The Titans are confusing, and the Falcons are extremely confusing. And the Chargers, they are a playoff team. Like they're built for it. So I didn't understand why they were struggling, but they woke up today in a Packer-friendly arena at Dignity Park and got it done.
Okay, so I'm going to throw 3 names at you.
And what?
3 coaches. The names of 3 coaches. And I want you to tell me who thrives, who survives, and who's about to take a dive.
You just make that up?
I just made that up.
Oh, gosh.
Thrives, survives, takes a dive. Matt Nagy.
He survives.
Okay. Why?
Because they just went to the playoffs last year, and right now they're just struggling. Hopefully they figure something out. He survives.
Okay. Mike Vrabel.
He survives.
Because they went to the playoffs last year?
Well, wait, now, I mean, they're doing okay with the backup, Tannehill. They're doing okay.
They're
Just
doing
okay.
Yeah. Matt Patricia.
He survives too.
Look at you.
You gave me names of people that like
I had a feeling.
They're not like,
well, I think
they're not terrible.
No. I think you saying that they survive probably is a statement because you didn't say that any one of those 3 thrives.
No.
And I'm just not talking about this season. I'm talking about all right, let me throw another one at you. Kingsbury.
He thrives.
Thrives.
Yes.
Because he's got his guy.
Yeah, he has his guy. And they're I think everyone now is kind of like believing in what's going on. Like he has his team, you know. They see what's going on and see what they're trying to do, and they got great leadership and people around. And yes, I think he thrives. Especially he has his guy. Like Kyler Murray is a hell of a player.
Dan Quinn.
He dives, man. That's tough. I mean, you know what's hard is I dealt with this with Gus Bradley in Jacksonville, is that he's a great dude, man. Just a really, really, really good person and genuine person. You know, I think a fantastic leader. I think he's a really good coach. I think what happened with Coach Gus Bradley is that he, you know, I think he hired a lot of his friends as opposed to like going out there and getting like really good coaches. He hired his friends. And I think with Quinn, I know Dan Quinn dealt with a lot of injuries, especially to the defense. But this is another team that's so confusing from just underachieving.
Yeah.
You know, especially offensively. I'm like, man, they got so many weapons. They have an MVP quarterback and, you know, arguably the best receiver in the NFL, Julio, and just can't get anything going. You know, especially the fact that he fired everybody and he decided to take over defense, and defense is not doing well again.
Yeah. One more. Fritz Schirmer.
Pat?
I'm sorry, Pat Schirmer.
Dude,
I covered the league back in the day.
Pat survives. I would say Pat's going to thrive.
Okay. All right.
They just got to get that defense right. They got to get more players on defense, Once again, Pat got his guy.
Yep. All right. I don't want this to be all about, the demise of guys and just about coaches that are struggling. So I want to get your take on who you think among, and maybe I'm leaving somebody out, but who is doing the best? And I'll throw out some names if you want, but maybe you already have somebody in mind. Who in your mind is doing the best or most impressive head coaching job this year?
Who is doing the most impressive coaching job this year?
Yes.
I would say, especially after tonight, John Harbaugh is doing a fantastic job.
Yep.
I think he's doing a great job in terms of he got that quarterback in Lamar Jackson. He has built that entire team around him. Cater that whole offense to his skill set. I think that's the biggest thing. And then also too, like I remember watching the game versus the Chiefs, and he went for it on fourth down a lot. He went for two a lot, and failed and made some plays. But I really love what he's doing and how everyone just rallies around him. I think, year in and year out, is like Mike Tomlin. I think he always does a fantastic job. He deals with so much adversity and so much drama, and still that team competes every single year. I like Sean McDermott in Buffalo. I think he's doing a wonderful job in Buffalo. Got them, I think, 6-2 right now? I think after today.
Buffalo is 6-2.
Yes, but I think Buffalo. I look at, speaking of adversity, I look at the Raiders. John Gruden.
Wow. Okay.
I think he's doing a phenomenal job. Because once again, they're playing as a team. I look at guys that are like teams that are playing together, and I see those guys. That's doing well.
So Andy Reid, Sean Payton, they get no love.
But that's kind of those two coaches. They're Hall of Fame coaches. They're kind of given.
Or Matt LaFleur.
I think Andy Reid always does a great job. Sean Payton is a heck of a coach.
Kyle Shanahan.
I'm giving you names, and you're like just jumping in, throwing names at me. Like I'm not even done.
Okay. The unsung guy. I mean, obviously, you got great teams that have that have faced various levels of adversity and remained great. So there is that. The guy that I'm really impressed with is Frank Reich with the Colts.
Yeah, always Frank. Yeah, I am.
I love the way he approached things.
It's him and Chris Ballard together. Them two.
Yeah.
When I spoke to Chris Ballard last year, the general manager, he basically was like, it's important for me and Frank Reich to set the tone for the entire organization on how we're going to be. And that stemmed from 2017 when they played the Jaguars. And I think they had like 5 sacks and just beat them down. And that's kind of where he was like, okay, I need to fix this. And it starts with me. And obviously got Frank Reich and made that move. And also too, when Andrew Luck retired, same thing. He's like, dude, Jacoby is a rare type of leader. Like he's going to be just fine. Like that's our guy, and then they end up paying him a 2-year deal to prove it. And so, yeah, I definitely am impressed with them, but they knew what they had. I'm impressed with them because Chris Ballard really built a tough team, got playmakers everywhere, and Frank Reich is definitely steering the ship the right way.
Who do you give more credit to in Seattle? Pete Carroll or Russell?
More credit to in Seattle.
Yeah.
Like now?
Yeah, for the fact that they're 7-2.
I mean, I give more credit to Russell. I think Russell now is to the point where he just runs the show. He can do whatever he wants. Like I guess that one drive where his headset went out, and he's caught his own plays and it's going to end up scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like Russell's at the point now where he can just go out there and you're like, go ahead and do your thing.
Is he? I think we haven't talked about this in a couple of weeks. Who's your MVP at this point?
My MVP. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was Russell the last time we spoke.
It was Russell last time we spoke, and it's going to be Russell again.
Okay.
I think it's Russell, Lamar, and Christian McCaffrey in that order.
I was just going to say, I wondered whether you could put McCaffrey in the conversation.
Yeah, in that order.
Yeah. Wow. Fourth and fifth, is Aaron Rodgers in your top five?
Aaron Rodgers is in there. Okay. Yeah.
And if he's fourth, then give me a fifth. Give me a top five. Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson. That's a good point.
Okay, good. That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here.
All right. I think we covered everything, at least for the time being, at least for this particular.
Yeah, for the time being. Yeah,
point.
so this is a good welcome back pod.
Yes, we covered a lot of ground in a lot of areas. Anything you want to say about the NBA now that we've kicked off? Do you anticipate going to more Clippers games or more Lakers games since you're based in LA?
It depends what tickets you get me.
You know what? I knew that was coming next. So, with that said, if you wanted me to take you to a game, would you rather go to a Lakers game or a Clippers game?
I have no preference.
Oh, jeez. Pick a lane. Pick a side. You don't care, though.
Because I'm going to be equally as entertained.
Okay.
I think LeBron's incredible, and I think Kawhi is really good.
I'll tell you what. Kawhi is on one right now.
He's busting people.
Man.
I mean, he's like old school, mid-90s busting people. Like, this dude showing up at the park. And he's just literally, it's like busting dudes.
He is locked in. And defensively, when he decides that he's going to rip the ball, he just goes and rips the ball.
There's a difference of the lingo now is crossed him up or he's killing them or whatever you want. But the way he's playing, old school terms, he's busting dudes right now.
He may single-handedly bring back the mid-range game.
Right.
Because he's got that little step back 12, 14 footer that is just, and it's on a rope. And he's
unguardable. He's unguardable. He's way too strong.
He really is.
You know who I like right now though too? Who I think the moves helped him. I think ever since Kyrie left, Jason Tatum is smooth.
He knocked one down against I think it was New York the other night. Hit a game winner. Yeah, I need to see that. I need to see Jason recapture it because Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Lonzo Ball, those are the guys that we originally looked at in that 2017 draft class, and it was these are the guys. And then John Collins in Atlanta is balling. Zach Collins has been making a kind of nice contribution for the Trailblazers while Nurkic is out. Derek White in San Antonio is showing out. There's some other guys in that draft class that have really stepped up. There's also a lot of guys in this rookie class that are getting a chance to play in a big way. And Ryan Hollins made a good point in the last podcast about the fact that I noted that we have so many young referees. There's been a real major turnover in the referee ranks. And we equated that. Ryan pointed out that one of the reasons why these rookies are doing so well is that you don't see a distinction between the rookies and the veterans and how they're officiated. It used to be you had to earn your stripes. Right. And now, if you get fouled, it doesn't Kobe White is as likely to go to the line as Zach LaVine or.
But that's how I feel.
Jeff
I always said
Teague
that too. I said in the NFL, maybe get younger refs in the NFL. Maybe.
Why?
You know?
Because you only get star calls?
Or they don't see the calls at all.
Well, we had a game the other night. I don't know if you saw the Mavs Lakers. That was a hell of a game. And
yes, I did watch that. The 2 triple doubles.
Yeah, Carlisle didn't go for the foul up by 3, and Dwight Howard. I saw it when the play happened. I mean, he clearly held Seth Curry,
right,
which didn't allow him to get to Danny Green in the corner. Now the debate is, should you have fouled and put somebody on the line, or should you have just face guarded Danny, like just put somebody on, just deny him the ball rather than. Seth kind of stepped back on the screen and then tried to get back. There's a couple different ways they could have played it. And then they didn't have to, when LeBron drove, let LeBron score on the layup. I mean, don't give up the 3. They played that wrong in a bunch of ways, but they could have fouled and just put LeBron on the line. And what was it, the next night? Detroit up 3, 7.4 seconds left. They fouled. And they ended up winning 113-109. Even though they had, as a result, Andre Drummond got fouled when the ball came back to Detroit, and he's a 45% free throw shooter. He made 3 of 4, and that held him at bay. But a distinct difference in the decision making. But nonetheless, just talking about fouls and young referees, like the call should have been made on Dwight. You generally don't want the referees to decide the game in the last 10, 15 seconds, whatever, on a last possession. But there's certain things it was too blatant. They had to make that call. And they ultimately did.
You know who else has been busting dudes? Tyler Herro. I'm a bucket.
Yes. Miami Heat looking good.
There's some good ball being played right now.
Yes. I'll tell you one place it's not.
Don't even say it.
My backyard. Golden State Warriors. They're done. Oh, they're so done.
It'd be like that, bro.
Draymond Green. Draymond Green's going to find a reason not to play. He is going to have nagging injury after nagging injury.
It'd be like that, man.
I tell you what, it's tough. I don't know that I've seen a team fall off this dramatically. Not even the Cleveland Cavaliers after LeBron up and went to Miami. Now
it's not because of ability. It's because everybody's hurt.
It's in part because everybody's hurt.
Well, yeah, no depth.
But even if Steph was playing, they wouldn't make the playoffs. They wouldn't make the playoffs.
It's early.
It's not early. It's late. It's late for anybody to think that the Warriors' run is over. I made this point before. It's over.
They're not going to win anymore.
They're not going to win any more titles. They can come back and be a playoff team next year. They can come back and be fun.
They're so behind the 2 LA teams right now.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing.
And Houston, it's not even close.
This is the thing. I haven't said this on the podcast. This is the thing that everybody really is not taking into account. Is that when they started their run, they were playing a different game. They played a style that everybody had to catch up to. The kind of small ball that they played and the offense that they had created and the switching on defense. It all came together, and they caught lightning in a bottle. Now everybody's caught up. Now everybody's adjusted their rosters. Now everybody is comfortable playing that way and expanding on it. And they, meanwhile, have either gotten old, infirm, or they've lost guys to retirement. And so, I mean, it's a natural progression, but there's no doubt you have to add into the equation this idea that once they get healthy, they'll be the same. No, adding Kevin Durant covered up a lot of blemishes, a lot of residual things, deterioration that was happening naturally with the rest of the league catching up. And I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. I was talking to Steph's dad the other night, Del Curry, And he was just talking about, like, they played, he and Steph were talking about it. And he asked Steph, he goes, how many extra games do you think you played over the last 5 years? And he counted them up, and it was like 128 extra games. Because Dell does TV for Charlotte, and they were having a conversation in June during the finals, and he goes, Charlotte's already been off for 2 months. You guys are still playing, and you're playing some of the hardest games you'll play all year long, and other teams have been resting for 2 months.
Yep.
And that stuff just catches up with you. It does. All right. That does it for this episode. So excited. Bucher and Blackman. So excited to be able to say that again. If you enjoy the show, or even if you don't, please rate us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you'd like us to do something for you, giving away, since the whole China debacle with the NBA is in the news, whether you were aware of it or not, I wrote a book with Yao Ming, gets into the cultures of the two respective countries and the challenges and some of the challenges that Yao faced in coming over. If you're a reader, you might be enlightened by what you'll find out and why the NBA is progressing or proceeding with all this as they are. But if you screenshot your review and send it to @BucherFriends, then you'll be eligible to win an autographed copy. And yes, I am efforting to make sure that it is not just my autograph, but Yao Ming's autograph as well, as a bonus. All right. In the next podcast, I will either be joined by Ryan Hollins, or I may have a special guest because I'm going to be on the road. And don't know who that special guest. I think I know who it is, but I'm not going to say until I've actually recorded it with him. So look forward to that, and we'll advertise who that is as soon as we know. In the meantime, as always, thanks for listening.